Box 3, spinning over.
Staff flare.
Welcome back, everybody. Mission number 9, Arctic Thunder campaign. This one is Fallout. Looks like the S is about to hit the fan. So in a desperate move, looks like Russia is moving tactical nukes. So small flight for the Stingers, myself, and number 2 is going to be Dog. I think it was. We are tasked with taking out these rocket launchers. It's going to be a hunter-killer role. I'm going to be the hunter. Number 2 is going to be the killer. I got Harms on board to take out any threats, and then Dog over there's got 1 can of CBU and 2 GBU-38s. Let's get this thing started. Let's get those rocket launchers taken out. Close canopy, set up the lights. Canopy's coming down. Lock the guard, set the lights up. Okay. Thank you for moving the fuel truck. Thank you for the gas. CNI to backup. And then we've got EPU off. Main bat to main power. Set the parking brake.
Hey, Chief, how do you hear me?
Good.
Loud and clear, sir. How me? Loud and clear.
Spacebar when alright, I am ready to start the engines. How's everybody doing
Chief,
today?
shots in place, fire guard. Clear forward and aft, ready for start 2. Clear fore and aft, all clear for start 2.
Hope everybody's doing well. Looks like our ECM aircraft is taxiing out, I believe. Question mark? Start 2. Okay. Per usual, we are watching the RPMs. Once the RPMs come up to just above 20 and stabilize, we will advance the throttles past the gate. Get this beast rolling. And we are in position. Advancing throttles. Okay, RPM's coming up. F-tit's coming up, looking for 60%. The nozzles will open and we will have oil pressure. And there's 60. Okay, nozzles open, oil pressure looks good. Aircraft engine is running. We are not covered in a shelter, so we will go ahead and arm the ejection seat. Reset master caution light. It is reset. Probe heat test, fire test, and lights test. Probe heat test.
Good start down here, sir. 6 screen.
Altitude.
Copy, Chief. Good start up here as well.
Jammer. Counter. Staff flare. Low. Out. Block. Caution. Bingo. Soda. ISS.
Okay, looks like all of our annunciators are good. All of our lights are good. C and I to UFC. HUD, MMC, MFD, UFC, GPS. Basically, let's turn everything on. I'll be getting my jamming pod set up later. Just turn all the switches on. Let's go ahead and uncage ADI. Radar altimeter to standby. Altimeter, we need to listen to the ATIS.
Miles. Ceiling 5,000 scattered, 18,000 few. Temperature -6. Dew point -8. Altimeter 2952. Departure runway 21. Arrival runway 21. Visual approaches in use. Advise on initial contact. You have information Charlie. Rovaniemi information Charlie. 071.
We'll go ahead and put COM 1 on channel 20 for the Mickey. And we have the ATIS. Alright, let's get the HUD up. There we go. Get all my switches in their preferred position for my liking. Adjust the seat a little bit. Check fuel. 12.0. Make sure the EPU is off. And oxygen to PPG. And press spacebar when we are ready for the EPU check. Here we go.
Alright, Chief, all my lights checked good. EPU off, oxygen at 100%. No lights, clear to remove the EPU pin. Copy. All clear for run-up.
Alright, we are clear for the run-up. Run-up to 85%, check no lights, EPU switch to norm. Alright, holding the brakes, running up to 85.
Alright, running up.
Okay, we are at 85. EPU switch norm. Press and hold the EPU gen switch and check that the run light is on for 5 seconds. I'm watching this light. 1, 2, 4, 5. Release. Comes off. And back to idle.
Alright, Chief, EPU check's good. Clear to check for flow. No flow.
Park and brake, spacebar for the SEC check. Park and brake and spacebar.
Alright, ready for sec. Speed brakes and flight controls clear. Sec, speed brakes and flight controls all clear.
Engine cont to sec.
Nozzle closed, clear for run-up.
Nozzles are closed. Check SEC lights on. There. Master caution is on. Snap mill. And check, make sure the nozzles remain closed and there's good response. Snap.
Run up.
And back. Good response. Nozzles stayed closed. Alright, back to pray.
Alright, sec check good, back to pry.
Checking nozzles open.
Nozzle open.
Park and brake for the speed brake test. Alright, speed brake commanded open.
Speed brakes open.
And while I'm doing the speed brake test, I'm watching the speed brake gauge, which is right there. That tells you when it's open and closed. So it's open. Command closed.
Speed brakes closed.
And it's closed. Alright, warm up the flight controls. Moving around. Alright. Flickus test page on the MFD. Flickus reset, DBU on, off. Flickus reset. Reset. On, off. And Flickus reset. We are ready for the bit test.
Clear for bit. Clear bit.
Alright, at this point, we will do the bit test. Align the INS, and then I will align my helmet-mounted display. So I'm going to turn on the HMD. Alright, HMD is on. Start the bit test. Start the alignment. Bit. Alignment switch to norm. I'm going to go ahead and accept all these parameters. Turn up the DED a little bit so I can see it better. And then we'll go ahead and align the helmet mounted display real fast. Hold center, press enter. Okay. Mode select to the next one. Mode select. Now I am aligning the top cross to the very center. Bits passed.
Alright, Chief, bit pass. Ready for trim check? Ready for trim.
Helmet mount display is aligned. Alright, trim check. Trim AP disconnect to disconnect. And then we will move the trim to make sure there's no movement.
Alright, disconnected. Check no movement. No movement.
Good. AP disconnect to norm for the trim.
Connected.
Alright, now it's back. Now we are going to go through all of the pitch, yaw, and roll trims to make sure they move.
Roll left. Roll right. Rudder right. Rudder left. Nose up. Nose down. Ready for big movements. Clear big.
Flickus reset DBU check off. Reset DBU is off. Alright, nose up and down.
Nose up. Nose down. Kick.
Roll left and right.
Roll left. Roll right.
Rudder left and right.
Rudder left. Rudder right.
Okay, Flickus reset. This time the DBU will be on.
DBU still clear. Clear.
Alright, nose up and down.
Nose up. Nose down.
Manual pitch override.
Kick.
Roll left and right.
Roll left. Roll right.
Rudder left and right.
Rudder left. Rudder right.
And DBU off, and then reset the Flickus. Anti-skid for the park brake for the brake test. Press space bar when I'm ready.
Okay, brakes on the left when you're ready. Ready, left brake. Channel 1.
Press it.
Movement.
Depress.
No movement.
Channel 2
And channel 2.
on the left brake.
Movement. No movement.
Good.
Okay, brakes on the right when you're ready. Ready, right. Channel 2.
Alright, right brake, press,
Movement.
release.
No movement. Channel 1. Movement. No movement.
Very good.
Alright, Chief, parking brake set. Everything looks great up here. You're cleared off. Copy that, sir. Have a safe flight and see you up front shortly.
Good deal. Thanks, Chief. ATIS already got it on the channel 7. Passed the Mickey on channel 20. We are on channel 20. We'll get that out of our face. Set up our cards, kneeboard cards, and set up anything else that we need for the flight before we take off.
Misfit 6-1, check on uniform. Misfit 6-2, loud and clear. Misfit 6-1, check on Victor. Misfit 6-2, loud and clear. Alright, push 2 on Victor. Misfit 6-1, check. 2. Rovania meet ground, Misfit 6. Fly to 2 F-16s at ramp Foxtrot, ready to taxi with Charlie.
Misfit 6, Rovania ground. Roger, Charlie is correct. Cleared via the Mark 1A departure. Climb via SID. 2451 in sequence. Radar frequency will be 129.9.
Squawk 2451 in sequence. Radar 129.9er, Misfit 6.
Misfit 6, read back correct. Taxi to runway 21 via Kilo, Juliet, Charlie, Tango, Echo. Contact tower holding short.
Taxi 21 via Kilo, Juliet, Charlie, Tango, Echo, tower short, Misfit 6.
Alright, here we go. Let's go get these tactical nukes. Looks like the EC-130 is just hanging out down there at the end of runway 21, waiting for us. Thought it was going to be a fatal blow that we dealt the enemy last mission, but I guess not.
Misfit 6, hold short runway 21 for departing traffic.
Misfit 6, Wilco, holding.
Misfit 6, cleared to cross the active.
Misfit 6.
Misfit 6 clear across the active. Alright, we are cleared to cross. Still going to check the finals. That aircraft is departing, so we are good to cross still. Tell you what, C-130 is pretty sweet. I like that aircraft. I remember when I was a kid, I had this big, giant, giant for a kid. It was pretty big. Probably 4 feet wingspan. C-130 out of plastic. I love that thing. Wonder whatever happened to that thing. And then I used to have a aircraft carrier that was all plastic, and then it was pretty big too. It was probably 4 or 5 feet long, and then it had some Tomcats, some F-14s with it. I used to play with that thing watching Top Gun. Every time I see a C-130, I think about that C-130 I used to have as a kid. Concerning. Let's hope we can find these tactical nukes before they release them. It's kind of a crosswind I can feel here on the taxi. Beautiful morning for a flight, looks like. And we are approaching the arming area. stop right here. They'll have us roll forward a couple feet. Alright, forward 2 feet for the tire check. Parking brake, hands up. And we are cleared off. Thanks again, fellas, for all your hard work. Channel 3, VHF.
Misfit 6-1, check. 2. Rovaniemi Tower, Misfit 6 flight ready at Echo.
Misfit 6, Rovaniemi Tower, wind 195 at 11 knots. Clear for takeoff, runway 21. Contact Rovaniemi radar when airborne. Have a good flight.
Misfit 6, clear for takeoff, runway 21. 2, push Victor 4.
Alright, here we go.
Misfit 6-1, check. 2.
Again, checking final. Checking both sides of the runway. Alright, let's light the candle under this thing.
And rolling. Two is rolling.
Coming out of burn earlier than I usually do. Oh yeah, beautiful day for a flight. Want to make sure I save the fuel.
Wheels up.
Really does look really neat with all the snow everywhere around here.
Rovaniemi radar, Misfit 6, flight of 2 F-16s passing 2,000 feet for flight level 110, Marxo 1 Alpha.
Misfit 6, radar contact.
Alright, let's wind in the HSD so I can see it a little better. Got the HUD up on full bright.
Rovaniemi radar, Raider 4, flight of 2 F-15s at Marxo with Charlie for the overhead, full stop.
Radar 4, radar contact. Charlie is correct. Expect the overhead runway 21. Follow Marxo 1, Charlie. QNH 29.52.
29.52, Raider 4.
And that, folks, is exactly why you fly the SIDS and the STARS. It's for traffic deconfliction. Okay, we are passing steer point 2, commanding steer point 3, making the turn. Climbing up to
Nature 2,
1,000.
departure handoff. Continue en route. Nature 2 switching.
And we got an aircraft up ahead. So on this standard instrument departure, we top out at 11,000, so I'm going to climb up to 11,000 over to steer point 3. Alright, number 2 is on. He is saddled. Good deal. Alright, that aircraft in front of us is conning. Low con altitudes. Up this
Radar
far.
4, contact tower.
Radar 4 flight, push Victor 3.
I don't see those other guys. Suppose that's the point with the different arrivals and departures into an airfield. They're over there somewhere. Gotta pay attention to my altitude. Here we go. Six miles to steer point 3. We will command steer point 4 shortly. And we will be handed off to Chainsaw. Alright, let's go ahead and turn these lights off.
Misfit 6, clear tactical. Have a nice day.
Misfit 6, switching. 2, push uniform 10, Victor 1.
Alright, there we go. We're passing.
Misfit 6-1, check
3.
Victor. 2. Misfit 6-1, check uniform. 2. Chainsaw, Misfit 6-1.
Go ahead for Chainsaw.
Misfit 6 is a flight of 2 F-16s passing Marxo en route to Dungeon. Mission number Alpha Tango 3386. We have 2 by AGM-88s, 2 by GBU-38s, 1 CBU-105, and 20 Mike. Checking in as Fragged.
Misfit 6, Chainsaw, radar contact, picture clean. Climb to base +9, clear to proceed to Dungeon. Mission is a go. Package TOT as flagged.
Misfit 6.
Okay, I was holding 11,000 until we were cleared up higher. So I held 11,000 around that turn. Then the AWACS Chainsaw cleared us up to base +9. So we're heading up to our assigned altitude. TOT is as fragged. Which is at 11:30. So at 08:30 our time, so 25 minutes from now is the time on target. We will push at 11:20. Okay. So I'm going to put steer point 8.
Misfit 6-1, ops check. 1 is 2832, 10-5. Tank speeding. Misfit 6-2 is 2832, tank 3, tank speeding.
Alright, so steer point 8 is our target area. So time on target is going to be 11:30, so I'm going to put at 08:30. 00 is our time on station at steer point 8. and then we will hold that at steer point. Alright, we're heading to steer point 4. And one last double check. Steer point 8 is our target.
Hello, Chainsaw. This is Acorn 3, proceeding on mission number Alpha Tango 3382. For Typhoon, checking in as briefed. Request clearance to Killbox Alpha Golf 10.
Acorn 3, Chainsaw. We have 4 good tracks. Picture clean. Cleared into Alpha Golf 10. Maintain base plus 1616.
Acorn 3, Wilco.
Wonder what aircraft. I wonder if that's our EC-130. Alright, we are currently 40 miles to our Marshall point, and we will orbit steer points 4 and 5 and wait for the push time. Push time is going to be at 20 at 0820. So we'll have to orbit for a few minutes. Go ahead and setting up my extended range. That way I can save fuel. So you go to your cruise page, you dauber over to your EDR page, set your steer point that you're heading to. Like right now it's steer point 4 for me. And then it's going to give you your time to bingo. In this instance, 57 minutes at my current power setting. Optimum Mach of 0.55, and then it gives you your current winds, which is 1908 at 23 right now. Pretty stiff winds up here. Let's go ahead and nose down. Went 500 over. Optimum Mach 0.56, so if you hit the mode select, it gives you with your EDR. You have your EDR highlighted right there. Your optimum Mach is 0.56, or mine is in this case. Hit your mode select, and there you go. It'll give you a caret to follow. I'm going to stay a little bit above it to make sure I'm on station in time, but once we get up here to the Marshall point, I will keep that. I'll keep that speed for my optimum as I'm orbiting. That way, I burn less fuel just sitting there in a parking orbit.
Chainsaw, Devil 3, flight of orders checking in as fact en route to dungeon. Mission number 3390. We have 8 by AGM-65s, 20 Mike base plus 4.
Devil 3, Chainsaw. Picture clean. Continue.
Devil 3-1.
I'm climbing up above the clouds so my wingman can keep an eye on me. Plus, it'll be nice to get some extra altitude for some fuel savings. Normally I would call and request the altitude change, but since you can't do that, I'm just going to simulate that I did. I'm going to hold 22.5.
Aircon 3 is on station Alpha Golf 10 at base plus 9.
Chainsaw copy.
Alright, I'm 9 miles until we hit the Marshall points, so I am going to back off the speed to my extended range speed. Still got 8 minutes until push time. So So I'm going to hold the optimum Mach, save the fuel. I'm at 9.4, excuse me, 9.8.
Misfit 6-1, Dungeon.
Chainsaw copy.
Alright, we are at Dungeon. We are at the Marshall Point. We are orbiting here until until 20 after for another 6
2,
minutes.
fence in. Grain it up. Two's fenced. Roger. We've already killed their IADs. Our priority today are any mobile stands in the target area, so keep an eye on your raw and HAT display. If we don't find any of those, AAA batteries are also valid targets. Make sure your ECM pod is in self-protection mode, and keep an eye outside of the cockpit too. Watch out for any smoke trails. 2 copies.
Okay. Once we push, I will put my ECM pod into active jamming mode. Continuous jamming mode, I should say. Alright, we are reaching Dungeon. Let's go ahead and orbit back. Still got 5 more minutes.
Chainsaw, Nitro 2 is on station as fragged.
Chainsaw copy.
So, with this, the hunter-killer role, I am the hunter. Number 2 is the killer, as I said before. So my job is stay high, he's going low. And my job is I'm going to have my jammer on continuous jam, and if any kind of SAM radar pops up, I'm going to do a harm slap shot at it.
All players chainsaw. AO update in 5. Altimeter 2952. Scattered clouds over the target at 5,000. Picture, single group, rock 090-180, 25,000. Bandit, no faster. Loadout. Poker detected an SA-15 30 miles north of the target 2 hours ago. It was active for a few seconds only. No other radars are emitting in the area.
Alright, we'll be watching for that 15.
All players, chainsaw, longbow. Say again, longbow.
Alright, here we go.
Misfit 6, pushing.
Nitro 2, pushing. Music on.
Alright. And we will go music on as well. Watching for the SA-15. One thing to remember when you're in continuous jamming mode, your radar is not going to be operational. So if you run into a situation where you got some MiGs jumping you and you're already in continuous jamming, you're not going to be able to get them with your radar.
All players, new picture. 2 groups, azimuth 10. North group, rock 085, 170, 25,000, flanking north. Bandit, no faster. South group, rock 095, 180, 15,000, flanking south. Bandit, no faster. All players, chainsaw. Jousting knights.
Devil 3, pushing.
Alright, strikes inbound. Under 2 miles to steer point 6, and then we will command steer point 7, which is the IP.
Misfit 6, IP. 2, go trail. Check music on.
I guess this is the IP, my bad.
2, music on, walking the dog.
You better not be. I want one of those.
It's gonna be a stretch fuel-wise. Keep your speed up, but don't plug the burner unless you really have to. You got it. Alright, let's go down, shake the tree, and see what falls out.
Alright, he should be heading low. I'm staying up high. Double checking, master arms on, everything's on. Watching for any radars. There he goes. Alright, that's E3. I'm going to make him my primary data link track so I can keep an eye on him. What you doing, fella? We have any 15s? I don't see any. Alright, here we go. Let's head down. Three miles to steer point 7.
AAA, heads up 1.
Copy.
Leads tally. It's coming from the village at waypoint 7.
Don't go too low. Alright, steer point 8. Commanded 8. Steer point 8 is the actual target area where the launchers should be around.
Two has a contact. Fire can.
Where?
Where? Rock 237 for 4. It's a 4-way junction. I see 2 big guns next to it. Maybe they're KS-19s?
Rock 237 for 4. Let's get some of that stuff out of the way. It's in that vicinity. Right about there. Let's go ahead and get a visual mark point with the HUD. Double checking RWR. Holding that.
Chainsaw, Devil 3-1.
Devil 3-1, send it.
Devil 3 flight, reporting at IP, scanning the AO for primary.
331 Chainsaw, roger. Report contact.
I'm looking. Bridge. Go get him.
Leads tally. That's a KS-19 battery, all right.
Go get him. Turning. I'm gonna tell him to go get it.
2, game plan will be cover, shooter. Use your CBU 105. That should take care of the entire site. I'll stay up here and watch for SAMs.
That's right.
2, Wilco.
Let's get ready to fire on the area.
Misfit 6-2 is in hot, engaging fire can west of Loki.
Alright, I gotta get my eyes on him so I can see and warn him if there's a launch. Where's he at? There he is. Alright, I got one hand on my space bar.
Chainsaw, level 3-1 is tally on 3 launches within 1 nautical mile from rock. Bearing 064. Positive ID.
731 Chainsaw, rock 064 at 1. You are cleared to engage primary.
Chainsaw, level 3-1 is against the launches.
I'm watching for any SAM launches. There's my number
On the
2.
way.
Good. I don't see anything. Any streaks in the air. Alright, 2, get out of there.
2S AAA, left 8, left 8.
Let's get that fire control radar. Where are you at?
2, kill fire can, off save, rejoining.
Good.
Good job, 2.
Alright, there was the fire control radar right there. He was right below me. I need to extend out because I can't launch the harms this close. Need to hurry up and extend out also. If I hear them...
2 spiked, SA-15 close.
15.
1, same. I'll keep it busy with harm shots. 2, you make the SAM go away. Stay as low as you can. 2's rolling in, engaging SA-15.
Alright, I'm rolling in. I'm probably too damn close to it.
Misfit 6-1, slapshot, SA-15.
Magnum. SA-15.
Two's naked.
Alright. That should get
That
him.
A-hole went offline.
Still should get him. Should have tracked him. That's okay that he went offline, though. At least he's not up and... Alright, going back for him.
Two spiked. The tour's online again. Get a harm on it now.
Yep, I'm going. Turn it in. Come on, turn.
Sam off the ground. Missile in the air.
I see him there.
SA-15.
Nice try. Oh no, he got me. Well, that was weird. I don't know what that was all about. If that had happened, what you just seen, the Dragon Riders request you to put NDA in the description below, and that is you indicating that that didn't happen, you didn't see that, and we will never speak of that again. Something was strange with the footage on that one. I don't know what happened with the footage. If that actually happened, what the problem potentially could have been was, again, if that happened, I was way too close. Since I'm the hunter, I should have been a little bit further away. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to make sure, since I'm the hunter, I'm going to be a little bit further away from the actual target area, the steer point. If that happened, I think I was too close to be able to launch, if it happened. I think the enemy was on some electronic warfare right there, corrupted the footage as a propaganda ploy to make you think that actually happened when it didn't. And if it did happen, I would have had to fly all the way back here to do this again, if it actually happened, right? Right. If we have any 15s, we can launch at them quick. Alright, looks like I got a 15 up.
Two spiked. SA-15 close.
There we go.
One, same. I'll keep it busy with harm shots. Two, you make the SAM go away. Stay as low as you can.
There we go. SA-15.
6-1, slap shot, SA-15.
Slap shot on that 15. go ahead and notch the 15's radar.
2's naked. That a-hole went offline.
Yep. Notch the radar. He's still in the area. I'm not too close. Not too far away. 15's back up. SA-15.
Spiked. The tour's online again. Get a bomb on it now.
Getting it.
Misfit 6-1, slapshot, SA-15.
SA-15. Alright, go get him. Go get that fool.
2's naked. Damn, this guy's smart. Keep him distracted. I need to get a JDAM on him now. Roger.
Looks like he came off. Looks like that SA-15 came off again. Both my harms were useless. 2 is rolling in. See where number 2 is targeting that SA-15 site, so I'm rolling my T-pod to it.
Here it comes again.
There he is. Distract the 15.
Two's off the target. Kill SA-15.
Nice, good job.
Good kill. My raw is clear. Let's work those AAA batteries over the town.
Nice. Good job, 2. It's a good kill. What's my fuel at? 7.2. Both my slap shots were useless, but we kept that SA-15 busy for the strikers to come in and take out those rocket launchers. We're gonna go back to the town and work the AAA. Go ahead and select steer point 8. Okay, let's find some AAA here. I've got nothing, so number 2 can roll in to get the AAA. I mean, I got my guns, but I've had bad luck with guns on AAA. Looks like number 2 is on an attack run. I'm gonna stay up high. Watch for any launches.
Devil 3, Manhattan.
Let's see here.
Copies Manhattan. Good work. Advise flow west.
Success. Got him.
Devil 3, flow west.
Alright, we are staying on station until they get out of here. I wish I had something other than the harms. Usually I have pretty good luck with the harms, but this guy was smart. Shut off his transmitter after I shot. What's number 2 looking at? Alright, there's the launchers. Those are all gone. Good deal. trying to pick up what number 2's looking at. There he is right below me.
All players chainsaw. New picture. 3 groups, wall. North group, rock 085 for 150, 25,000, hot, bandit. Middle group, rock 090 for 155, 25,000, hot, bandit. South group, rock 095, 158, hot, bandit. Chainsaw recommends all players commit.
Copy.
Takeoff is committing. L3 committing. Misfits committing. Shit, where did all these bandits come from? Get ready. It's gonna be a massive dogfight, and fuel's gonna be tight. Take spread on my right, and let's get some altitude. Make
Let's
sure
do
you
it.
have air-to-air selected. Master arm on.
Let's do it. All right, we're climbing. Looking for these bandits. Everybody's committing to the bandits. See, that's what gets me, is earlier AWACS said that they were no factor, but they are obviously a factor.
All players, bandits now at 120 miles from rock. Acorn commit north group. Misfit commit middle group.
Mid.
Devil commit south group. How copy?
All right, we got middle group.
Misfits copy. Committing middle group. Devil 3 copy. Roger. Acorn 3 is committing north group.
Where's my number 2? Down there somewhere. We're 120 miles from the bowl.
Acorn 3 has 4 contacts on our nose. Rock 080, 110, 25,000.
080110.
Acorn 3, your bandits. Red and free.
They're right there.
Roger. Acorn 3 is engaging.
All right, they are 12 o'clock at 110 miles. I'm at full mill, still kind of high. 6.8 on the fuel. Let's go ahead and dump these tanks. Tanks away.
Misfit 6 has 4 contacts. Rock 090,
There they are.
905.
Chainsaw correlates middle group. Those are your bandits. Red and free.
Copy. Red and free. 2 sort multiples.
There they go.
2 sorted.
All right, we got the middle group at 25,000. All right, we are armed up. Our pod is ready to jam. I have to remember earlier I said your continuous jamming mode. You cannot use your air-to-air radar or air-to-ground radar. You can't use your radar system, period, with continuous jamming mode. It shuts it off. So right now, I had to take it off continuous jamming, and now I have it on
All
intermittent.
players, chainsaw shows maneuvers. Stand by. players, bluegrass. Say again, bluegrass. Stand down. All bandits have turned cold and descended. Chainsaw recommends slow west.
Infantry copies. Pushing bikini.
Alright.
Infantry copies. We're jerky fuel. Pushing to the yellow track at this time.
Alright, they recalled us. They told us to move away. Man, I was ready for it. Dang it. Alright, we're flowing west. We're heading to the egress steer point. I don't like that they had us turn, because now we got the bandits behind us, even though they turned. They better tell us if they turn back at us. I'm going to keep armed up and air-to-air. Alright. We are heading back to steer point 9. And steer point, we'll go to steer point 10, Bikini. That's where everybody else
All
said
players,
that
all players. This is Jupiter on guard. Weapon status is yellow and tight. Say again, yellow and tight for all players.
What the hell is going on?
I don't know. Something big must be going down. Alright, check your fuel. I'm close to bingo. Let's stay high.
Roger, 253.
Chainsaw to all players. Relay from Jupiter. Recommend slow west. We need everyone west of the border. Say again, vacate Russian airspace. Proceed west of the border.
Oh.
Devil 3 is egressing west.
Did they give up?
Misfits pushing to Bikini.
Nitro 2 copies. Returning to base. Over.
Did the Russians give up? We took out their last chance. Their Hail Mary effort in this mission. Maybe talks have progressed. Alright, so here's that contact at 25 again. Let's see what it is. It's ID friendly. Yep, that's a friendly target. Okay, looks like that's the C1. Looks like that's the C-130.
42-1 looking for direct air on IT.
Oh, 3-1, anchor 6-1 Bravo, 015, 58, that's 25,000, 6
Holly 3-1, confirm clear direct.
Hollywood 3-1.
Holly 3-1.
And Crate, you can push over to Blue 11.
2-1, push Blue 11.
L3 has crossed the border. We destroyed 3 launches at Rock 08042. Returning to base.
Chainsaw copies.
Chainsaw, Misfit 6 at Bikini. We've crossed the border. Mission number Alpha Tango 3386. Fire can destroyed at Rock 235 for 4. SA-15 destroyed at Rock 155 for 5. Winchester and RTB.
Chainsaw copies. Good work. Cleared present position. Direct home plate. Your discretion.
Alright.
Misfit 6.
Stand by on the ECM.
4-1 was as fragged. 4-2 was 2 Army vehicles and multiple KIA. And 3 was 2 vehicles with multiple KIA as well.
Hope that wasn't our guys.
This is Jupiter on guard. All players stand by for an important update. Intelligence reports that 30 minutes ago, a coup went down in the Kremlin.
The president has disappeared and Russian troops are standing down. One of the Russian generals is making a speech on open channels. The hostilities have ended. Weapons status is yellow and tight. Nobody fires until fired upon.
I mean, that sucks for him, but nice.
Well, holy cow. That ended faster than I expected.
Holy shit, just an hour ago, we were at the brink of a nuclear war. We've only been here for a week.
Yeah, and I'm sure it could have dragged on much longer, especially if they really had used those nukes. Their resources are infinite. I'm just glad there are sensible people in Russia who recognize when to stop.
It must have taken some balls to get rid of him like this. I'll give him that.
Absolutely. Remember all the anti-war protests at the beginning? And how thousands disappeared in prisons and interrogation cells?
Yeah, that was unreal. Speaking of disappearances, any news on Camgit?
The helo got to the crash site the next day, but there was no sign of an ejection. I didn't see a shoot either. His jet exploded midair.
Damn.
That sucks. And this kid was just born, what, a month ago?
Yeah, a daughter, Emily.
Damn. By the way, how many arms do you have?
I only had 2, but I figured they'd be monitoring our freak, so I kept calling fake shots. I was right.
Man, that was a varsity move.
Alright, battle damage check.
2.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and turn on my lights. So it prompted me to push the space bar to call a harm shot. I hit it. It was a little too late. It didn't work. But what you were doing there is Weasel'n. They were listening to you on the frequency, and or you were calling out harm shots just in case they were listening, and it worked.
Everything looks good. No leaks.
Good deal. I'm going to have to check his jet now. Battle damage checks. Where you at, buddy? Alright. Let's give him a look. Alright. Top side looks good. Dude, get out of burn, dude. Bottom side looks good. I see some yellow on his aircraft there. I'm sure it's okay though. You look good, buddy.
You're good, too.
Alright. We're only 30 miles, 5.2. We can have a little bit of fun. Let's head down. I know that was kind of abrupt for my wingman. I don't know where he went. We are Mach.
Misfit 6, contact your Vanimi radar. Nice work today, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Misfit 6, switching. 2, come up Uniform 1, Victor 4. Misfit 6-1, check uniform. 2. Misfit 6-1, check Victor. 2. Rovaniemi radar, Misfit 6, fly to 2 F-16s at Markso with Charlie for the overhead, full stop.
Misfit 6, radar contact. Charlie is correct. Expect the overhead runway 21. Follow Markso 1, Charlie. QNH 29.52.
Misfit 6, Wilco 29.52.
Alright. We were mocked, now we're not. I don't want to break anybody's windows after this glorious victory today. Still looking for my number 2. He's not in position. Oh, there he is. He's up there a little ways.
Altitude. Altitude.
See the airfield. Getting us set up for the break. Let's go ahead and give them a little light show when we head in. Spit out some flares and some chaff. Let's not kill the radar system here. Let's go ahead and shut our chaffs off. That way we'll just spit out some flares. Alright, there's number 2. Getting back into position after my little hiatus. Alright, let's start turning in.
Misfit 6, contact tower.
Uniform 3.
Misfit 6, switching. Flight, go.
Victor 3, I mean.
Misfit 6-1, check. 2. Over EME Tower, Misfit 6, flight of 2 at NIPAC for the overhead, full stop.
Misfit 6, Rovaniemi Tower, welcome back. You're clear for the overhead runway 21, left-hand pattern, for 3-mile initial.
Misfit 6, Wilco.
Alright, we are set up.
Misfit 6, initial.
Misfit 6, wind 205 at 11 knots, clear the left-hand brake runway 21, brake over the numbers.
Over the numbers.
Misfit 6.
Standing by on the flares. Here we go.
Tap, flare, tap, flare.
Let's hope those don't land on a fuel tank. Looks like a radar dish right there. It's kind of cool. I haven't seen that before. At the top of this hill, I think that's our early warning system. Number 2's over eager to hit the mess hall, looks like. Alright. Turning in.
Misfit 6-1, left base, gear, stop 2-1.
Misfit 6-1, clear the land runway 21.
Misfit 6-1, cleared to land 2-1.
Pulling up the nose with the trim, getting trimmed out for 160 knots. Or thereabouts.
Misfit 6-2, left base, gear, stop.
Misfit 6-2, clear the land runway 21.
6-2.
150 knots now. Let's get the nose down just a tad. Turning in. Left base. For Rovaniemi. Dang, did I just say that right? Nope, nose is coming up too high, pushing it down. I'm a little high. It's alright. Never even hit Joker. Alright, we are lined up on final. Let's get the power back. A little bit high still. Alright, the power's back. We're sinking. Want to get on glide path. Oh, a little hiccup there. Not sure what that was about. Still getting a little crosswindage going on here. Kind of swirls around here at this airfield. Nice soft touchdown. Oh yeah. Very nice. Want to see that mission complete.
Misfit 6 flight, be the active enable, contact ground.
Misfit 6, switching ground. 2, push 2 on Victor.
Alright, where's number 2? Looks like he's on final.
Misfit 6-1, check. 2. Rovania being ground. Misfit 6 is clear of the active.
Misfit 6, Nova ground. Taxi to ramp Foxtrot via Kilo.
Via Kilo to ramp Foxtrot, Misfit 6.
Alright, we're heading to the de-arming area. I see number 2 there on final approach. What a great campaign. That was a lot of fun. I learned a lot. There's another aircraft on its tail. Better not be one of those pesky Russians. I'm gonna have to arm up and take him out from the ground. De-arming. Alright, taxi back to the ramp. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Alright, got that mission complete. Thank you guys, I appreciate your support and following me on this campaign. Just remember, no aircraft were harmed in the making of this video except for all of them. If you liked the video, give it a like and a subscribe, and we'll see you in the next sortie.